of dumbbells. Doesn't have to be heavy. If you don't have dumbbells, you can use cans, you can use water bottles, you can use anything of two, roughly the same size. And we'll get started. Jane's ready on the mat, actually. So let me grab my weights. You might also want to have a little cushion for your head. And then obviously 2 weights or something similar. Let's bring you down here. Okay, so I'm going to put everyone on mute just so everyone can hear me, okay? Perfect. So let's get started. I think everyone's back. We're going to start lying on our back, ladies, and we're going to start with some breath work and abdominal engagement just to get us set up. So remembering, getting down on your mat safely onto your side and then onto your back. And let me pull up my sleeves so you can see me. So super simple to start. Feet hip width apart, tailbone is heavy, lower back is soft, chest and collarbones are open, and your hands can either be down by your side or you can rest them on your abdominals. And I just want you to close your eyes and I want you to just take some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you do these nice deep breaths, I want you to really try and get that breath deep into your body. So ideally, when we're breathing, we want to think of 360 breaths. So that means breathing into the belly, into the sides and backs of the rib cage. So we get this huge expansion, and then as we exhale, the waist narrows and the abdominals gently contract. Dima, if you want to do it sat, cross-legged, you can, okay? Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So the aim is that before we even start the class, we're super calm, we get that nice connection, and we feel that little contraction of the abdominals. So we're going to do one more nice deep breath in here, and then exhale, release. From there, you're just going to give me some little pelvic rocks forward and back. And Dima, if you want to do this, you can do this standing, actually. Or you can actually, I changed my mind, you can do yours in all fours. That will be easier on all fours. So if we're lying on the back, we want to think of pressing the lumbar into the mat and then pulling the pubic bone towards the belly button and then tilting the pubic bone down towards the floor. And we're just going to do a couple of these just so we get that nice movement through the hips. And then when you're ready, you can just start to lift the tailbone slightly and relax it down. Lift the tailbone slightly and relax it down. And I want you to just slowly build up your bridge, piece by piece, bit by bit, okay? And Dima, for you, you're just thinking of doing those pelvic curls in that beautiful position, right? Lengthening the lumbar. Now, for everyone else, we're all on our back, and the aim is that we want to get those hips nice and high. We want to feel a stretch in the front of the thigh. We want to pull the pubic bone towards the belly button, soften the rib cage, and then we want to roll down and articulate through the spine. So this is our chance to create spinal mobility, right? So we're curling up, big breath in, articulating down. Okay, and everyone's going to give me 2 more here at their own pace, right? Breathing in and rolling down. Good, guys. Last one, breathing in and rolling down. Really, really nice. So from there, we are going to move into some little toe taps. So you're going to bring those legs to tabletop position and then thinking of drawing those abdominals in and down. You're going to tap your right foot down to the mat, bring it back to center, left foot down towards the mat. And Dima, you're going to extend your right leg out and then pull it back in exactly. So what I want you guys to watch out for is we've got no gapping right? We've got no arching, we've got no movement of our pelvis, and our knee isn't bending. So it's not like a little, like, flutter kick. I'm reaching my thigh bone away and I'm pulling my thigh bone back in. I don't physically have to push my back into the mat to be able to maintain my spine or my spinal position. I'm thinking of drawing my abdominals into the center and down towards the mat so that I've got that nice connection. So I've got this nice solid trunk that we always talk about, okay? Now, if you feel comfortable with those, we're going to make it slightly harder. We're going to extend one leg to 45 degrees. We're going to send the other leg to 45 degrees. We're going to pull the first leg in and the second leg in. And Dima, you can extend for me and you can give me 5 little pulses upwards and then come back in and change. Yeah. So if you're doing the version on your back, it's extending one leg, maintain that lovely spinal position as you extend the other leg, pull the first leg back in and then the second leg. What will want to happen is that pelvis will want to tilt forward. If you feel that's happening, then you can extend one leg, come back to tabletop, and then the other leg and come back to tabletop. So there's lots of options. Remember as well, the lower that the legs go, the harder it's going to be able to maintain that back position. So choose the option, choose the height that feels comfortable. You can maintain your pelvis, okay? So I want everyone to finish off their last set here, and then you can draw your knees in towards your chest. Give your knees a little hug, just so you get a nice little release before we move on to our next exercise, okay? So for the next one, we're going to come into tabletop position again, and we're going to go with a double knee fold. So you're going to lower both the knees down towards the mat and pull both of the knees up. Dima, for you, you're going to take your knees off the mat in a little knee flow and lower both your knees down. So this variation is going to be a lot harder. If it feels easy peasy, you can do it with straight legs, okay? But obviously that's going to be much more challenging. The aim is that that back doesn't arch, that pelvis stays in that lovely neutral position. And I'm thinking as the legs come in of drawing those knees in, lowering down, drawing in. If you're doing it with straight legs, same thing. Control down, big lift up. What we want to watch out for is doming, is arching in that belly. Everyone's just going to give me about 2 or 3 more here, and then you can draw those knees into the chest. So whether you're doing it in tabletop or with straight legs, yeah, I would squeeze those knees together, right? And I would really think of using your breath to help you find that return, right? When you pull those knees back in, okay? Once you finished your last one, hug those knees into the chest. And then we've got one more core exercise to do before we grab those weights. So, final exercise here is going to be that dead bug. So we've got legs in tabletop position, arms towards the ceiling, palms facing one another. You're going to reach same arm as leg, right? Right arm, right leg away. The lower the leg and arm, the harder it is to maintain that nice solid trunk. And then we come back to center, and then we alternate to the other side. And Dima, you will do exactly bird dog, right? So the same feeling. Now what's going to want to happen is the arm goes overhead, is the rib cage in the back are going to want to arch. So we've got to engage our abdominals, right? Breathing all the time. Every time we exhale, we think of drawing those abdominals into the center and down towards the mat. So we've got these really nice fluid movements with the arms and legs, but the core is working hard, okay? Now, if you feel like you're getting movement in your torso, it means that we've not stabilized that center. So you're going to need to either change, right? So we don't make it as big. You've got to find the height that you can maintain, okay? Or you're going to keep one arm and one leg down on the mat to begin. So there's lots of options here. right? You can make it as challenging or as easy as you like, but you've got to make sure that you can stabilize that center, okay? I want everyone to finish their last one here, and then you're just going to put your feet down onto the mat. You're going to bring your knees together, and you're going to put your hands on the floor. Dima, for you, you're going to give me a nice gentle cat and cow, I think, while we do these hip rolls. So we're going to press our shoulder blades into the mat. We're going to take both of our knees over to the right, and you're not going to let that opposite shoulder blade lift at all. And then you're going to pull the legs back to center, super gentle. We go over to the left. You can even turn your head in the opposite direction and come back. But what I want you guys to be careful of is that we're not letting everything drop to the floor. We're not just releasing into our stretch. No. We've got that center switched on. I'm pressing my shoulder blades into the mat. I keep pressing that opposite shoulder blade. My knees are stacked, my hips are stacked, and I pull my abdominals back into the mat as the legs come to center. So I only go as far as I can maintain my position, and then I pull and come back. So that way we've got super controlled movement, we're working the obliques, and we get that nice back release, okay? Making sure knees and legs are together, feet are together, everything's aligned. Last one in each direction, guys. Good. And then we're going to grab hold of our dumbbells. So for the next series, we're going to do a little arm series. So we're going to do chest, triceps, and shoulders, okay? Now, if at any point it feels too much with the weight, you can do the exercises without, right? And think of it as a mobility exercise. You're still going to get a lot of benefit from it. But we're going to come and lie on our back. Now, I advise having the head supported. It's just a little bit more comfortable. And you're going to have your knees bent and the dumbbells in your hand. So the first thing that we're going to do is hug a tree. So you're going to bring your weights in line with your breastbone, and you're going to round your arms as if you're hugging a big giant tree. Exactly, right? My elbows are lifted. From there, you're going to open the arms out to the side, and then you're going to squeeze them back together. Open them to the side and squeeze them back together. Of course, the further that you open them, the more challenging it is. But what I don't want you to do is just let them drop to the floor and let them pull back in. No, no, no. I've got tension. I'm not letting those weights drop the floor. I am using the tension in my arms, and I'm controlling the movement all the way. Now, the great thing about doing weights in this position is our spine is in neutral. It also tells us if our shoulders are rounding, right? You'll feel your shoulder blades come away from the floor. No, shoulder blades grounded, okay? Chest is open, arms are wide. And yeah, Dima, exactly. For you, just keep those elbows lifted. It's a little bit harder seated. Does it feel okay? You just give me a nod if it's okay. Yeah? Okay, gang. Everyone's going to give me 2 more hugger trees. Yes, very, very nice. Make sure you got nice rounded position, shoulder blades back. And then from there, we're going to go into a skull crusher. So you're going to stretch the hands all the way up overhead, and you want to get your wrist in line with your shoulder. From there, you're going to slowly lower both the weights down by the ears if you're going to answer the telephone, and then you press the weights up to the ceiling. Bend and press, okay? Now what often will happen is people will move their elbow, okay? So if you're worried, oh my gosh, I don't know if my elbow's moving, you can put one weight down, you place that hand on the back of the arm to stabilize it, right? So that you know how much it's moving. And yeah, you can do exactly the same from seated. You can just put the hand there and you can bend and stretch. It's quite a lot of mobility for the shoulder, but it's a really good way to work those triceps. You want to make sure as well, what often will happen is we'll bend and the elbows will come forward. Yeah? No, you've got to fight to keep those elbows really, really high. We don't have super heavy weights, so we are trying to get fatigue, right, from lots of repetitions, right? So you're going to give me about 4 more here, controlling each movement. Good. Last 2. Nice, ladies. Really good. Last 1. Good. From there, we're going into chest. So you're going to rotate your palms to face your knees. You're going to bend your elbows really wide and have them tap the mat. And then you're going to press them forward. So bend the elbows, tap the mat, press them forward. And if you're seated, you can gently squeeze the shoulder blades slightly and press them forward. Just being careful that when we stretch, that the shoulders don't round, right? We pull them down the back. We've got that sense of really engaging those back muscles. Good, guys. This is a really good exercise to do on a bench or something where you can maybe let the elbows drop down a bit lower because it lets us use full range of motion. This is a really good place to start, okay? Make sure those weights are going straight towards the ceiling. Everyone's going to give me 5 more reps here. And then we're going to turn to our side. Yeah? Good. Lovely. Once they finish their last 2, beautiful. Everyone's going to turn onto their side for me. Dima, are you okay to lie on your side? Okay, let's do it. Yes. So, you may want to have a slightly thicker cushion. I always prefer to have 2 little blocks when I'm on my side. And you're just going to need 1 of your dumbbells. Now, for some people, it depends on the weight of your dumbbell. It might be a bit heavy. But let's talk about setup first. So my heels, oh my God, I couldn't remember the name of that then. My heels are in line with my bottom. My knees are bent. Hips are stacked. Shoulders are stacked. So you can see my shoulders are aligned. I'm not giving like a Michael Jackson. And my side waist is lifted. So you should be able to take your hand and just slide it underneath the waist. If that waistline's collapsed, then you know you've got to zip up pubic bone to belly button and engage that center. The weight's going to be in your top arm. So both my arms are extended. And I'm just going to start by lifting my weight up and lowering the weight down. Boom. So this is a big, big exercise for the deltoid. Okay? Big shoulder muscle that sits right on the top, like a little, I always like to think of it like a little cap sleeve, you know? It's our deltoid. Super, super important in big overhead movements, big stretching movements. This is also, of course, a great exercise for the rotator cuff. Any exercise that mobilizes the shoulder works the rotator cuff, so that's always a win-win-win. And we're going to do about 3 more here. Control, aim, if you can, not touch the floor. That's going to make it that bit harder. 2, to constantly controlling the weight. Last one, we're going to hold that weight in the air. You're then just going to rotate the palm, and then you're going to squeeze the hand down by your hip, and then you're going to lift it back up to your shoulder, right? Now, I want you to imagine you're squeezing oranges under your armpits, right? Boom. So you get this engagement in our lat and also our serratus. So if you put your hand, you know, right underneath your armpit and you squeeze, you'll feel that muscle contracting. And that muscle is super important because it attaches the shoulder blade to the back of the rib cage. Is that geeky? Yes, but it's kind of cool at the same time, right? And then we've got that lovely big lat muscles. Okay, everyone's going to give me 3 more here. And it's important to kind of understand these mechanics because we could just lift our arms, or we could understand that every time we lift, right, it all comes from our back. So if we get our back strong, it improves our posture. It's going to help improve that upper body strength as well, right, because we have that support. Now we're going to finish with a little circle. So I want you to finish with your hand down by your hip. You're going to sweep your arm forward so it's parallel with the underneath arm. You're going to lift it up towards the ceiling and then you're going to squeeze those oranges under the armpits. You're going to reach it forward, keeping it off the ground, up to the ceiling. And squeeze those oranges under those armpits. We've got 2 more here. We sweep forward. We lift up. We squeeze down the back. Last one. We reach forward. We lift up. We squeeze down the back. Now leave it at that hip. We're going to reverse it. So we take it up. We reach it forward. We sweep it down by the hip. We lift it up. It comes forward. See if you can keep it on the same plane as it comes to the hip. Last one here. We lift it up. We take it forward. We sweep it all the way to the hip. Oh, rest it. Have a little second. And then we're going to push ourselves up to seated. Swing our legs around. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay? So remembering shoulders, hips and knees are all stacked, one on top of the other, yeah? Both arms are out in front. Start by lifting the arm to the ceiling and controlling and coming back down. Now remember, if you keep that weight lifted off the floor the whole time, it's going to be much more challenging. Of course, if you want to let the weight down, you can, but you guys are strong, huh? So I don't want to see it if you don't need to do it. I want you to try and keep control of that weight the whole time. Good. Now be careful, ladies, that we're not rolling back, okay? Imagine you were like lying in like a really tight tunnel and you've got a wall here and a wall there. Check. Check when we're in that side position that we're not opening ourselves out. No, everything is stacked. You can even turn and look, right? Is that shoulder in line? The thing is, alignment isn't everything, right? But when we have osteoporosis, we need to be more aware of our alignment, right? We want to have good proprioception. We want to have a good understanding of where our body is in the space, right? So that we can be aware of our posture to help reduce our fracture risk. All really important things. So it may seem like a little thing, but it will help in the long run, right? Build that feedback. From there, rotate the palm down and we squeeze and lift. Remember, you can put your hand underneath there. As you squeeze the hand, see if you can feel those muscles engage, right? When we have that cue or we feel that physical feedback, it can really help, right? We understand that connection between the arms and the back. Good. Nice, guys. Lovely. Good watching. Making sure we're in that nice alignment, making sure those shoulders are stacked. We're not rolling back. We're going to finish our last one here, and then we're going into our circle. So we're going to finish with our hand at our hip. We're going to sweep our arm forward, keeping it parallel to the floor. Lift it up towards the ceiling. Squeeze our imaginary oranges. 3 more. Forward. Lift. And squeeze. 2 more. Forward. Lift. And squeeze. Last set in this direction. Forward. What's happening with those abdominals? Are we keeping that waistline off the floor? See if we can reverse. So we lift it up. We bring it forward and then we sweep it back to the hip. Lift it up. Forward. Back to the hip. 2 more reps here. Do we have that nice sensation of that arm gliding around in that shoulder socket? Last one here. Lift. Lower. Bring it all the way to the hip. Oh, take a little breather. From there, guys, we're going to finish on our front for a little bit of extension. We didn't get on our feet, which we usually do, but it's good to do a bit of mat work sometimes. So, coming in line on your front specifically, we've got legs a nice comfortable distance apart. If you want to make it harder and you don't have any discomfort in your lower back, you can bring your legs a bit closer together. Foreheads on the mat, elbows bent, I've forgotten what rib cage is called. Elbows in line with your rib cage, lifting your chest up and lowering your chest down. And we're just going to do a few of those. Super gentle, super relaxed. Just to get that back
working in that beautiful extension position, okay? Now, Sonia, can you even, because you're quite high up there, can you get your chest all the way to the floor? Yes, you can open the elbows, find a comfortable position for the arms. That's it. Now, try and lift from there. Lift your chest up instead of resting on the arms. Yes, and down. Exactly. So we'll have to work that back that little bit more, right? Instead of resting on those forearms, we got to use that upper back. And if you really think of it coming from your chest, from your breastbone, yeah? A lot of people will want to look up. You feel like you're getting higher, but actually all that's happening is we're extending that neck. So we want to think neck down, chest is lifted, okay? We're going to do about one more here, and then we're going to go into our swimming. So you can either have your elbows bent and on the outside of your mat, legs probably the distance of your mat. If you have the shoulder mobility, you can straighten your arms out in front of you. So we're kind of like in a starfish shape on our mat, okay? From there, you're going to press your pubic bone into the floor, engage the glutes, softens the back. You're going to float right arm and left leg off the mat with the chest. And then you're going to release and come back down, alternating side to side. Left arm, right leg, chest lifts up and down. Now remember, you can do this with a bent elbow as well. Sometimes it's not always comfortable on the shoulder to have the arm forward into that extension. So you are more than welcome to do it there. Good. Remember, gang, keep those eyes looking down towards the mat. What I want to see is this beautiful elongation, yeah? From the bra strap all the way up. Like someone could pull your head up out of your neck and shoulders. Good, guys. The hip bones stay connected to the floor, so we're never rocking side to side. The pelvis is really, really still and stable, and we get this lovely lengthening. Everyone's going to give me one more on each side. Okay. Beautiful. And then I want you guys to sit back into a nice child's pose. Or if it's not comfortable on your knees, you can lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. And we're just going to do like a little relaxation. I know, no push-ups, no balance today. I have to save it for next week. But just take a couple nice deep breaths in here, okay? So remember, you can be in your puppy pose with your hips higher if you like. That's going to have more of a stretch through your shoulders and your chest. Or you can sit right back onto your heels. It's completely up to you. It's all about finding the right position, whether it be here or here. And I just want you to have these nice deep breaths, and I want you to breathe right into that lumbar. So as you inhale, it's kind of feels like you're breathing into your bum. Right? Bit crude, maybe, but that's the sensation we want to have. We want to open up that lumbar. We've just done loads of work on the core. We've done loads of work in extension. So just taking those nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you can just come and sit yourself up. Take your time, because you guys are all done. Fast and furious as always, but hopefully everyone feels nice and relaxed after that. Good, guys. Lovely. So I will see you guys all next week. Same time, same place. Take care of yourselves. And remember, you can always drop me a message if you have any questions.